Hi guys, and welcome to another unboxing and first impressions. Today we're unboxing a debut model from a new brand from Hong Kong called the ROIH watches. ROIH stands for Roots of Industrial Heritage. This is their debut model and it'll be launching on Kickstarter in a couple of days. I'll be leaving the link in the description so you can subscribe to the launch and get notified once the watch becomes available. So let's open the package and see how this thing looks. We have the outer box. As you can see, it's pretty vintage inspired because the watch itself is also vintage inspired. Okay, let's pull out the sleeve inside a regular box with this foamy material, and here we go. We have the card explaining the design and the specs. It's a warranty also. You get a rubber strap. No, this is not rubber. This seems to be a Cordura strap. Yup. Pretty cool with a leather underside. Very good. And here's the watch itself on a bracelet. Okay, so let's move this away. Take a look at the watch and zoom in. And there we go. This is a vintage inspired skin diver, as they like to call it, a popular design in the 60s. And this thing is made entirely out of titanium. The bracelet, the case, everything. It is 39 millimeters in diameter, but as you can see, it's pretty long lug to lug, ending at 50 millimeters. Luckily, they do have the U-shaped end link, meaning that the bracelet can go down pretty steeply, but it's still a very, very long watch. Now this fogging is on the outside because the watch is pretty cold, so we have some condensation on the outer side, not the inner side. The crown, as you can see, is unsigned, but it's gold plated to match the seconds hand. The crystal is a boxed sapphire and it comes with underside AR only, just the way I like it. Look at the bezel, it has this sloping design, which I always love, but it seems like the grip is gonna be easy to operate. Okay, let's try the bezel. There we go. It has 120 clicks and they're very smooth and very soft. The bezel is also titanium. The watch is pretty light, but because it has a mechanical movement, it's not super light as, let's say, a quartz titanium watch. So it does have some heft to it, but very, very little. This watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 movement, meaning that it does come with hacking and hand winding. So if we unscrew the crown and pull it all the way out, the seconds hand is gonna stop, while the first click is gonna change the date. The screw-in is pretty nice. And I do like the way they did the date window. I don't know if you can see. It's like this trapezoid shape, which goes well with these triangle markers at 12, 6, and 9. This is a pretty cool vintage design. The texture of the dial is very grainy, as you can see, but it does feature some applied markers. These thick markers are applied, while the numerals are printed, just like on the Omega Seamaster. Very cool. I like the fact that all the hands are very long, reaching to their designated markers, and they're pretty readable. Very cool. Okay, let's try to do the lume shot, and then we're gonna do a wrist shot and call it for today. Because as usual, I will be doing a full review with macro shots and everything after I spend some time with the watch. Okay, so with the lume charged, let's get the camera to focus. There we go. And turn off the light. There we go. The lume is pretty okay. It's Super Luminova BGW9, so it glows blue and it's not as strong as the green tinted C3, but you do get this pretty cool blue look. I love the fact they only lumed the triangle at 12 when it comes to the bezel, to be true to the original, the vintage divers, instead of looming all the numerals like most micro brands do. The watch is, I believe, 13.5 millimeters thick, but most of it is down to this bulging case back. The actual case is pretty thin, and as you can see, you do have drilled lugs for easy change of the bracelet or strap. The bracelet comes with solid links, solid end links, and a machined clasp. So let's try to put it on my wrist to see how it looks. Naturally, it hasn't been sized, so it's not going to look perfect, but we'll be able to see the proportions. My wrist is 6.7 inches, and as you can see, even though it's 50, it's right on the border of being too big for me. It is okay, but it does break kind of violently down, so I wish it was slightly shorter lug to lug. But if you have a 7 or a 7.5 inch wrist, you're probably going to be okay. So as you can see, even though it's a 39mm watch, it does take quite a lot of wrist because of the long lug to lug and the fact that the case is pretty straight. I mean, it does have some curvature downwards, but it's not enough for my smallish wrist. I do like this boxed sapphire. It really does give that vintage vibe, like it's made of acrylic, but luckily it will not scratch as easily as the acrylic. A very simple watch, and look at the bracelet. It does have a nice taper from, I believe, 20mm down to probably what's 16 or 15. I always like bracelets that have a taper. They kind of wear more comfortably. Very cool. Anyways, that's it. So check out their Kickstarter campaign in the description and stay tuned for the full review, like I said, after I spend some time with the watch. I still don't know what the price is gonna be, but once you sign to their Kickstarter page, once it goes online in a couple of days, you'll be able to check that out as well. Very cool. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.